And now, on with the show.
Hey y'all, welcome to episode 2 of the Pit Pod. We are all three together for this one.
Yay!
We're actually in the same room, shockingly.
And it's been
I can touch them
Yeah. Oh my god.
inappropriately
Yeah.
Okay.
while they sleep.
It has been a struggle. I feel like that's where we need
Just
to
a
start
little.
this.
Just a little bit of a struggle.
Just a tad.
I don't want to know how much time we spent on that.
At least an hour and a half. No. Well.
Okay, because this is the thing. We wanted to each be able to have our own mic so that the sound was the best. And because it made it feel like a real podcast.
Right.
But we're actually just going to use one mic now. Because I think we need to get a mixer.
I think we do too.
So we need to probably buy one and see if we can find one for cheap or like do some research on that. But for now, this will do.
This'll do.
We're here. We
I'm
made it.
holding mine not plugged in to pretend, just for the vibes.
Because it's fun.
Just so everyone can get the visual.
It's like when you dress up as Hannah Montana for Halloween and your favorite. The whole reason you're dressing up like that.
The wig.
Well, and the mic.
Oh, duh, yeah, okay.
And that mic becomes like a staple part of your childhood.
Oh.
And I know you can relate.
Well, it like immerses you into the experience.
Oh,
Yes.
100%.
That's like when you sing in the shower.
Now, when you said, you know, that I could, like, relate to that, was that on the fact of, like, me being a gay little boy dressing up as
No,
Hannah
because
Montana?
because you're a singer. You love
Oh.
to sing and you're such a good singer.
Well, I appreciate it.
And whenever you drive, you use your phone.
Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, okay.
I've seen that.
But I'm not going to put you on blast like that.
Just how I left the context out of our fight. You know, I appreciate
Yes,
it.
and I appreciate you doing
Yeah.
that.
That's gonna be locked away in a vault forever.
This has been a very chaotic intro,
Yeah.
but I think
part
that's a
of
good
it.
segue to Ben. That's a good segue into we wanted to talk a little bit about the first episode
Yes, the intros.
because we've all listened to one
each
another's little section. I also realized I cut out me saying my name, so I'm Eve and I'm 25. I think I accidentally cut that
Hi,
out.
Eve.
Hi. Yeah.
I will say I was very shocked that I told Eve this already, but Haley made the first.
No, I know.
Recording.
Well, it's funny how it worked out because I feel like I was the most nervous out of the group to sit in a room alone and just talk to a void. But I feel like mine ended up being the longest, did it not? Like, I had to stop myself at a certain point.
You and Ben had longer, and me, who's the talker, had the shortest, which
I
we were
know.
all surprised about.
That shocked me.
True. Me and Haley, I feel like we had some dark and dreary in ours.
Yeah,
and
mine
Eve's-
was fucking... Oh, sorry. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you can say that. I haven't dropped the F-bomb.
I said fuck
Yeah.
in the first episode.
It's gonna happen. As long as it's not in the first... What is it? What's the YouTube rule? Like, first 5 minutes?
I think so. And whenever you upload the YouTube video, it asks you, is this for kids?
Oh, yeah,
And you
no.
just say no.
This is not for
Especially
children.
when yeah.
Unless you're just a kid at heart. Then it could be
Yeah,
for
my
you.
stories really were for a kid at heart.
Or if you're like a kid in a grown person's body because you never got through your childhood trauma.
Amen.
Well, there's the segue right there.
We can all relate. No, but I want to say, talking about Ben and Haley's, I think they did so good, and it's so funny because hearing them talk about me and them and our friendship and whatever, it was so cool.
I would agree. Because I feel like we tell each other a lot, like, oh, I love you, like, I appreciate, like, hearing the depth of it all, I think, was just, like, reassuring.
Well, that, we don't really, I don't know, friendships are more in the moment, and there's, like, we all do self-reflection, but, like, reflection on the friendship, reflection on each other individually.
As a whole, yeah.
And then, yeah, as a whole, like, you don't do that very often.
No, definitely not.
No, but
So I found it to be a special kind of, like, moment, almost.
it's almost shocking, though, because you would think we would do it all the time because we were always reflecting on everything, and
Yeah.
every conversation gets deep so quick. I don't think we've ever had small talk from the second I met you guys.
No, probably. It was, especially when I first met Eve, it was like immediate trauma dump.
I'm like shaking your hand and you see like like the world's largest backpack on me, and it's just like full of like mommy issues, daddy
God,
issues.
Yeah.
Self-rejection, rejection in general.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Even when I met Ben for the first time, I didn't include this in the podcast or in my intro. My initial introduction to Ben was through another friend being like, oh my God, I can't believe he's here. I literally hate him. He's the worst person ever.
Yep.
And it was
We already shouted her out, Natalie.
Yeah, Natalie, yeah.
And that's like Meredith saying, "You're friends with Ben. He used to bully me."
Yes,
literally.
And then she blackmailed me to take them through cookout one night with that.
Yes, I remember that.
I remember that too.
Plot twist: Ben's a bully.
Yes.
Ben is the villain in the story. No, I'm just kidding.
All stories.
Honestly, but we love like a dark fantasy king.
Yeah.
It's so funny though because I don't read. I'm
No.
not into that. Like.
Well, it's funny too because no, you're not the villain. You're not.
No,
mean,
never.
You're not scary. You're not.
But I'm okay if I am. That's the thing.
He's embracing it. No, but seriously, on a real note, you're not, I don't think you are that way at all. No. So it's shocking to me. And when Meredith said to me that, I was like, there's literally no way we're talking about the same person
Ben
right now.
Right.
Because my Ben is just walking around singing and happy and smiling and like always down to hang out and
always down for a drink.
Yeah, always down to get wasted. No, I'm just kidding.
I did show up hungover, so at 3 in the afternoon.
We should do it. We should do an episode later tonight, a drunk episode.
Yeah, a couple
that would be fun because we're legal age to drink. So
we are of legal age.
Yeah, and people do like podcast episodes where they're like get high and stuff.
They do. That's very true.
Snoop Dogg, I'm pretty
it's
sure
not legal here though, so we don't partake. Illinois is right there.
You all don't.
So is Ohio.
I don't partake.
I partake.
I usually don't.
I don't because I will genuinely have a panic attack and think that my eyeballs are melting.
You're on my list from college of people I am not allowed to partake with.
Yeah. And honestly, I respect that.
Eve used to do that and would get mean.
That's how she got on the list.
That's also kind of why I stopped drinking whiskey.
That's fair. Oh.
I know a lot of people like that. Like certain drinks will trigger.
I had to stop. One, it's not dark liquor is not as good for you as, well, they're not good for you, but
I was gonna say,
like, vodka's healthy.
I think vodka is so healthy.
Especially when you drink it with, like, soda water or Diet Coke.
Diet Coke is
Diet
0
Coke
calories.
And vodka?
Yes.
Yes.
Taylor Swift drinks it.
Is it like a straight vodka, or are you doing like a whipped cream vodka with it?
That would actually be so fire. I want to know, when I went to the grocery to get stuff for you guys coming to visit, I looked for the cherry lemonade poppy.
Damn.
They didn't have it.
Damn.
In Meijer. But maybe they have it at Target or something.
That's good.
Do y'all have a Kroger, or do you just prefer Meijer?
We don't have Kroger.
No, yeah.
We have Schnucks.
Is that owned by Kroger?
I don't know, but it's very similar.
Okay.
It's kind of like how Publix feels like very similar to Kroger.
Anyway, sorry.
How's the Publix in Louisville?
I still haven't been. Oh. I'm terrified of it, actually.
I have no interest. It's kind of like Whole Foods to me, of like, I'm going to go pay triple the cost.
Yeah.
I feel that.
The only reason I would go to Publix, genuinely, is to get a sub sandwich from their deli.
Pub sub.
A pub sub, yeah. We should do that. Like, get like a little...
We have our favorite deli already, though.
I mean, yeah.
Oh my god, Morris.
Shout out Morris.
Shout out Morris.
If you've ever listened to Jack Harlow, then you know.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
Ben's actually really good friends with him.
I'm so dead.
My old boss is, but
I was going to say, it's funny because growing up, especially just like being a teenager in Louisville, like, and knowing Ben, like, I worked there for so long, that was just a no-brainer. I'm like, obviously I'm going to go visit my friend at his work to get a free sandwich. And then hearing how...
Freeloader?
You know, literally. Hearing the hype of it all after Jack Harlow's song was kind of like...
You were like, I was there first.
I lived it.
I did it first.
Yeah.
It's like when someone plays you a song, you're like, bitch, I knew that first.
Yep.
I heard it from TikTok, so get out of here. Oh my god, yeah.
Favorite food spots now that you've moved away from us, Eve?
Oh my god, I miss so many... Louisville has such good... Kentucky in general has such good food. I'm about to really offend like people from Indiana, but there is like people in Indiana don't cook well. Okay, and I'm sorry to say, but they don't season their food.
They're
don't.
right on that northern cusp.
It's not good. I haven't had any restaurant here where I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. But everywhere in Kentucky, I mean, you know what? Call it what you will. It's probably the butter, the grease, the salt.
1,000%.
Like, I get it. I know what it is, but it tastes better. I miss the Eagle, like, so bad.
The Eagle.
Ugh.
I miss Chewy's, but we are getting a Chewy's. Which I know Chewy's isn't like Louisville, excuse me.
No, that's where you first had it, right?
Yes. Where else did we used to always go? I can't even. I'm blanking right now.
Do you miss like Silver Dollar?
Oh my god, yes. That's the thing. Louisville has so many really good.
Just like mom and pop local.
Yeah.
What about in Evansville? I know you said the food is not the greatest in Indiana, but do you have any favorite spots here?
Wasabi.
Yeah.
Wasabi.
Wasabi smacks.
I like wasabi.
And we're trying that new place tonight.
Yes, wasabi is like a sushi place, but they also have like Japanese hibachi, which is good.
Fun.
Yeah, we're gonna go. Evansville has a lot of German Catholic population, and because of that, maybe I shouldn't say that.
That's why I fit in so well.
They have a lot of taverns because
that's-
they put tavern because Catholic people historically
Love to
like
drink.
to drink.
Oh.
Right.
Yes. So there's a lot of taverns scattered throughout kind of like the edges of Evansville. So we're going to check out a couple of those. And one of them is really close to Scott, my fiance's parents' house. And they have food. So I'm going to take them there today for like a early dinner. And get like some dinner. And then there's another one that we might pop over to get a drink. Just depending on how we're feeling.
Oh, there was that one place we went to, the Irish place.
The Irish pub.
Oh yeah, that place was good.
That place was good.
Patsy Hardigan's?
Is that what it is?
No, that's a Louisville place. No way.
Oh my god, what's it called?
Oh, Flanagan's?
No.
Flanagan's is in Louisville.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then maybe it is Patsy Hardigan's. That was pretty good.
That was good.
Their like shaved prime rib sandwich.
Oh yeah.
Yes, but I'm so sad that cake wasn't the same, you guys.
I thought it was good still.
I thought it was nasty.
Really?
Like, so nasty.
Didn't you say it needed to be colder? Like it needed to...
I don't know. Something about it was, like, really off to me.
Yeah.
I think it was the texture. The texture was, like, almost gelatiny.
I'm not a fan of cake because of that.
Ew,
I love
that
cake.
just gave me, like, the shivers.
I just also love any baked good sweet item. So
Not me. I'm
Give
more
me a
of
chocolate
salty
chip
girl.
cookie or...
Let's talk about something with some substance. Speaking of food.
I'm getting hungry.
There we go.
Actually.
Let's talk about our perspectives. Differing
Okay.
on life or relationships or whatever.
Do you want me to start since I'm kind of the odd man out? We're in a weird sitting place because I am single and have no intention of getting like married ever.
Yeah, you can
But
start.
you're in a relationship, you're getting ready to get married, like
It's like a...
It's like a start, middle, end.
Yeah.
Like, truly.
or not, depending on your perspective.
Exactly.
wow, that was a good one, Eve.
Oh
I'll
my
give
god,
you
I'm
that.
like made for this.
Which one of you two want to start this perspectives conversation? Because I kicked the episode off, so I'd like a little breath, for a minute. Maybe some water.
Okay, so Ben really wants me to go first.
Correct.
I'm kidding. So, I'm going to talk about kind of more general perspective. And then I think maybe we can each kind of go general and then maybe like discuss and maybe get more into like details and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like my perspective on life is the older I get, the more confident and comfortable I feel with a traditional life. When I say traditional, I mean traditional in maybe like Southern culture
Right.
of getting married, having some children, working, doing a little bit of traveling, retiring, doing more traveling, or like I mentioned in the first episode, being my crazy houseboat lady or something like that.
Yeah.
But
I'm here for that.
and I think similarly with like religion, I can't remember if we didn't want to talk about religion, but I'm talking about it right now.
No, because we have
different perspectives.
We have different perspectives on that. I definitely grew up religious, Christian, Baptist, which if you know, then you know. And I still have faith, but I've definitely moved my thought about all of that to a more personal one. And I think that faith is a personal journey and relationship with God. And because of that, I don't think it's necessary to go to church. I don't think it's necessary to read a Bible written by who knows who millions of years ago.
Sold.
I don't think any of that is necessary. I don't think it's necessary to celebrate Easter in a really ridiculous way. I think that's capitalism right there. I think it's literally me and God, and I don't think I have to accept that. Of course, I want like my friends and family to also have a relationship so that
we can
talk about it, relate to that.
Yeah.
But I believe heavily in grace and God's grace, and so I don't believe like if Haley and Ben die, and maybe I'm not speaking for them, but I'm just saying if maybe they don't have a relationship with God or they don't have any sort of religion, I don't think that means they're going to hell. I don't think hell is real. I just think that God has grace, and when they die, they'll have
I was just going to ask you
a
about
conversation
that. If
with
you believe
the Lord.
in hell and heaven.
I believe in heaven. I don't believe in hell. I just think there's either nothingness or heaven.
Okay.
But I don't think it's the if you don't accept the Lord into your heart, you'll go to heaven or you'll. But I even think like my brother when he passed away, he was an atheist, but at his funeral, this preacher gave a really great sermon about grace specifically and God's grace. And why would God, who loves us so much, give all of this sacrifice just for him to say, you didn't, in these really absurd ways, worship me enough, or...
Right. Like, that's very self-centered.
That is, and I don't think that's God.
Yeah.
So I think that... I think when you die, you will have the opportunity then and there to decide what you want to do for your eternity. But that's religion. That's kind of deep and heavy. But in general, I think I'm more traditional with my views and my perspective on life.
I would agree. I think I am to a certain extent, but I also don't feel, at this moment in my life, super called to be a mother. And I'm not going to say that, like, never.
Mother hen.
Because, obviously, I don't want to ever say never, yeah. But, I don't know, I don't feel very passionate about wanting to have children of my own. And so, I think at this point, I would be doing it for the benefit of my family, and that's the wrong reason to do it.
Agreed.
Like, what do you mean the benefit of your family?
Like, I've had, my parents or my step-parents be like, oh my god, we can't wait to have grandkids and, like, take care of them. And, like,
like them setting that expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, like...
I'm sorry, stop putting the expectations on people.
No, that's what I'm saying. I've had people, like, in my family be like, Haley, you're our only chance to have grandkids, so good luck.
Like, how dare you?
And I'm like,
I don't
oh
you
my god. That is, like, terrifying to me. Don't tell me that, because I'll do it.
What are they talking about? You gave them moose. Is that not enough?
Literally. That's what I say. I say you already have a grandchild.
Y'all can come get him
and
anytime.
he's easy compared to real kids.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you can lock him in a crate and shut him away. You can't do that with a baby.
Wow.
He does come in for you.
Literally.
Free will, but
yeah.
CPS will be at your door if you locked your baby in a crate.
And obviously that makes me kind of untraditional in the way that I want to live my life. And I think I struggle coming to terms with that because that feels very selfish to me. And, like, it's really hard for me to want to admit to, like, my family and stuff that I don't feel called to be a mom because, I don't know, I think they're going to view it as a selfish thing. Like, oh, you don't want to, like, destroy your body or you don't want to, like, I don't know
either.
Take the time or you don't, and, like, and it just feels like a very selfish decision, but at the same time, I'm like, I spent my whole entire childhood and my whole entire teenage years and my whole early adulthood living and doing every single thing for everybody else in my life.
You weren't living for yourself.
Well, I think realistically, though, that's actually, like, the most selfless decision you can make is knowing that now that you don't think that you're necessarily going to ever be ready or fully wanting to do everything that you know to do to be the best mother you can, and so selflessly to say, you know what?
It's probably not for me.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
I think you're
valid in that.
You're valid in that. And
That's
and
true.
your mind can change too.
It can. It
And
definitely
I think
can.
that's important that you can remember that.
Yeah. I'm allowed to change my mind about anything I want.
Free will.
It's like the pressure I put on Haley to get married so I can be a maid of honor.
No, literally.
Ben might fight me for it though.
Here's my thing.
I'll be the matron of honor because I'll be married.
Oh, great idea.
And Ben will be
maid of honor.
maid of honor.
Why don't y'all just show up to the wedding and have a
Ben
good
said
time?
I don't want to.
Ben said, actually, I'm good.
I'm gonna. I don't mean to steal your thunder. Am I good to?
No, go ahead.
I don't plan on getting married.
Yeah.
I like to get on Tinder and like swipe for military men every time I go to a new location.
I'm so
Oh my god, fun.
That is fun.
Like I sat here on the couch when I first got here for maybe 10 minutes and was swiping.
Ben!
And you
I
didn't
like to
share
play
that
game.
How
Cast
dare
it
you
to the
deprive us of that?
You know we love that game.
Is that the right word? Deprave?
Deprive?
Deprive.
Deprive.
Deprived. But
I'm so dead.
I do plan on raising a child and being a gay mother hen at some
Single
point.
dad.
Yeah, I would love to be a single dad, but I also know that
Wouldn't you be a gay Papa Rooster?
Gay Papa Rooster's correct.
I was gonna
That's
say.
I don't know. That almost sexualizes that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the point.
For everybody that can't see us right now, you just winked at me, but
This is where our affair gets public.
Yeah.
Literally.
I'm a very reckless person when it comes to, well, at this point in my life, when it comes to like people holding me to certain standards outside of work, because Papa's got to pay his bills. But like people holding me to standards, people like wanting me to follow their lead in things.
Thank you.
I've stopped just being a yes person
Preach.
because that is so unhealthy.
No is a complete sentence.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
No is a complete sentence.
Correctamundo.
And I'm with you on that. I really struggle hard.
You've gotten better. We were talking about that in the car.
We were talking about that in the car, actually.
Another thing that we talked about in the car that the world is chaotic as hell for our generation. Mel Robin, actually.
Did you see the clip of her on TikTok?
No.
Of her being like, people in their 20s today are more stressed than people in their 20s were even like 5-6 years ago because of the generational wealth gap, because of not being able to own a home, because of like,
Yeah.
just
We've lived through a pandemic, for God's sake.
all that, and
we're going through college in a pandemic.
and the student loan epidemic, and is that an epidemic? What would you call that?
I don't know.
A struggle.
Struggle bus. But the world is so chaotic, and there's so much bullshit that goes on.
Yes.
Where it's just like, what even matters?
Nothing.
Nothing matters. We are all peons, specks of dust,
It was
love
funny.
the word
floating
peon.
in the fucking.
I've never even heard that word.
You know why I love that word?
Why?
Because I want you to pee all over.
Oh my
On
God!
me. I messed that
We're
up.
gonna be cutting that one out.
Pee. I meant to say pee on me.
Oh my God! Is that one of your fetishes?
I'm not cutting that out.
We knew somebody in college that was their
We
fetish.
did. We
Oh
did.
my God, you.
Do you know who?
We're not gonna get into that.
Okay.
We'll tell you
Anyways.
later.
No, I do know. I'm remembering now. Freak Bob.
Yeah.
We don't judge. We listen, but we don't judge. But we are gonna judge some things that was just
That
like.
person just deserved to be judged for many reasons.
That's very fair. They also... Never mind.
Nope.
Ben, I'm sorry. I feel like we're not giving you very much respect right now.
No, I would rather you all have some. Toss
He
a few
does
things
not
in
like
here.
to be respected.
Let me. Let me toss some religion things at y'all.
Oh, God.
Okay, yeah.
I'm scared.
I don't know. When I stopped going to church, I grew up Catholic. Been to a Methodist, Baptist, not Southern
Presbyterian?
Baptist. Presbyterian is where it ended. Where I kind of just fell away from my faith. But also, my community, sometimes I feel I feel like religion is a bullet at our, like, the gay community. And it can be weaponized.
I would agree.
So that's what kind of like pushes me away from religion. Not to say like I believe in God. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
But finding the right place and the right home for my religion for me to practice my religion. Like I'll always have these like religious conversations with you all.
Right.
With my parents, with my family, but family's another thing. Yeah, we have a segment for that. That'll be an 1.5 hour long episode.
Oh my God, yeah.
But I haven't found a home for that worshiping or that faith.
Yeah.
So
and I think there's a lot of, I would probably consider myself at this point in my life more spiritual than religious.
There we go.
I grew up very, I grew up, baptized and confirmed in the Methodist Church. And religion used to be a really big part of my family. It still is for some of them. But now I just feel like I am at a point where it's more of and this is me back on my woo-woo hippie shit, but it's almost like a karma thing. You don't need religion to be a good person, in my opinion.
Speaks to what he was saying.
Yeah, and it's also if you do good for the universe will kind of look out for you.
I hope.
And Ben, you said you don't have anywhere to put your worship or to
except for myself and
and
the places that I talk about it. I mean, that could be considered.
I think
but
it's also a very spiritual experience to appreciate the beauty in very mundane things.
Yes.
Here's
an example. Katie's my sister, everyone, but Katie just sent me a picture of
the lake.
A rainbow coming off of one of the windows in the lake house.
I was literally going to talk about the lake.
The rainbow has been a sign for our family with my grandfather.
Aww.
Seeing rainbows. So seeing it at their house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really special.
But like you said, appreciating beauty in small and sometimes mundane things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a little about me and a little about Haley's religion views, because we didn't touch that when you were talking. But
yeah, I didn't really want to bring it up, to be honest.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, get ready to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
No, you're right.
Right. I think overall, I want us to be able to make it clear in this episode that we all have very different perspectives, and they do overlap quite a bit, I would say. But when I say overlap, it might just mean a corner here or a side here, whereas
we're adjacent.
Yeah, we're adjacent. But we're overlapping in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
The details of our opinions, our beliefs are really what make us unique, and also what makes our relationship so great. Because I'm constantly seeing things in a different way.
100%.
Or understanding them different or learning something new because of the differing perspectives.
I would agree.
I'd say I learn something new every time we're together.
Yes.
Preach. Well, I don't know. I know you all learned something new about the what two mammals don't have nipples, but we're not going to get into that.
God, that was
If you haven't Googled that question, please Google it. Look it up. And read about the mammals in specifics. That's all I'm going to say.
Penis. That's all we have to say. Penises.
Oh my God.
Multiple.
But in all reality, let me back up out of a comedy phase. I do learn something new every time we're together.
Mm-hmm.
I've had conversations with both of you. I've had conversations individually with each of you where we've disagreed on something, or we're coming from a different viewpoint. Again, perspectives. I feel like this episode should be named Perspectives. But coming from different viewpoints, and it's well, yeah, I'm going to argue this, but you just said that, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that.
We're also very good about hearing each other out, I think.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say, it only works because I'm not afraid to have my mind changed.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid.
I think that's very important.
For the people I love and care about, or even a stranger for that matter, to change my mind about something.
That's very important.
I feel like you have to walk through life
open-minded,
open and willing to have your mind changed about stuff.
Yeah, that's very true.
Or else you're going to be a really cold, nasty person.
It's like eating the same ice cream every time you go.
Literally,
to
don't be a maggot.
Maggot.
That's my new word for people that I don't think are very nice.
That's a good one.
Because they suck the blood out of everything, yeah.
No, that's a leech you're thinking
of.
But
Okay.
that
leech is good too.
Yeah, leech is a good.
I also think, like you said about not having to change your mind and stuff. Or what?
I said,
Yes.
it's okay for me if my
to.
mind gets changed.
Well, because there's so much gray area. Like, life is not this, like, black and white.
Right.
Like, it's all gray. It's all kind of morally ambiguous.
And different things have made people walk in and out of our lives.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then all three of us are sitting here going on at least 5 years of trio friendship.
Yeah.
Where it's like...
And
We've
it was
had
not
some
easy
tough
at first. It was not easy at first.
No.
Like, there was a lot of, like, conversations that were had as far as, like...
Quiplash or...
Don't ever play Quiplash in your group. Unless you want to see the dynasty fall.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Some awkward drives home.
It's just, like, weird. I think so many people think, okay, I have to... These are what I believe. This is what I believe, and I have to stand firm in this, or else I believe in nothing. Or...
Don't get me wrong, I'll die on some hills.
Right, and
But-
that's fine. But when I say, like, it's okay to have your mind change,
Yeah.
I just mean, like, go into conversations with people as open-minded as you can.
Yeah.
Go into conversations with people listening instead of wanting to be heard.
That's a good one. That's good, too.
I feel like I used to get so chastised, especially as I got older and people started to develop their own opinions, whether it's politically or religiously or just morally. I feel like I always kind of was timid to share my stance because, I don't know, I feel like I'm a very adaptable person and can just kind of get along with other, you know,
Humans.
other viewpoints, like,
Yeah.
really well. Like, I just can kind of fit in where I need to be. And that used to scare me because I was like, oh, I don't hold my ground in anything. Like, I don't, like, people, I feel like, would sometimes chastise me and be like, you don't have a backbone, you don't
You're a
have...
pushover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I think your point.
Well, I think you can see the beauty in that, though. And we've talked before, like, especially when you have struggled with, like, relationships or whatever, like, in your past, you have said before, like, it's okay that I gave them that much. Like, I'm happy that I gave them this, or that, like, if you want to see it as a weakness, see it as a weakness.
Right.
But to me, it's my strength.
It's a strength, yeah.
And that's kind of, like, very similar, I think.
No, that's very true.
Same for, like, which I think this is maybe, like, different, but same, of people who are very outspoken or very strong-willed.
Yeah.
You know, those things are typically seen as negatives, but it's just really about how you frame it, and I think it comes down to basic respect for everyone.
100%.
You can be loud, proud, you can be quiet, mellow, and be respectful. Both of those two people can.
Yeah. 1,000%.
And we're all different in that regard, too.
Yes.
That's another difference.
I think so.
Um,
Should we talk about, maybe, like, more of our perspectives and, like, maybe where they come from?
a little
Like,
background?
As, like, our back, yes,
a
our
little
background.
lore?
Yeah, like, a little bit more of our lore. As much as we feel comfortable, or...
Okay.
Well,
What do you think?
let's jump in.
I went first last time.
Let's get frisky.
Get frisky.
Under the sheets. Guys, this is a side note. I think that hotels have changed their sheets and their comforters to be shorter.
You think?
Yeah, because when I pulled up to my chin, it's like up to my knees.
No.
Yeah, I went to Atlanta for a work conference. It was horrible. Anyways.
That's like when we went to Nashville for your birthday, Haley. And the pillows, we didn't pull them out.
Was the event?
And they were folded in half, and we didn't know that, so we were all sleeping on like
These
a
little
2x2 pillow.
That's crazy.
It was horrible.
God, that was a
That was a crazy night.
And the hotel we were at.
was ratchet as fuck. Yeah. It was so fun.
Hey, do you want to try this unnamed drug?
Yeah.
Literally, we got
What?
offered spice. We walked to a gas station after we got back from the bars to, like, get snacks, and this lady walked up
Okay,
to
that was
us.
your first problem.
Well, yeah, that's also very true. This lady walked up to us and was like, do you guys have spice? We're like, we don't even know what that is, so no.
Like cumin or
like coriander?
Let me bend over, I can give you some spice.
big farts?
So I'll start with the lore.
Okay.
So everyone, if you listen to the first episode, like a good audience should, in my opinion.
Right.
So I have a younger sister. The funniest thing to me, and I'll kind of start ahead of time here.
Mm-hmm.
Me and her are both gay.
Yeah.
And I thought...
Something in the water.
Yeah. I thought that would, like, cause more... I don't want to say pain or headache, because I don't think it's that. But more of just, like, my parents being like, what?
Disappointed?
Yeah.
You think, yeah.
But with how they reacted when I came out, like...
Your
they
parents are
don't
the best
care.
people in the world, truly. Like...
They don't care.
They would not give a shit.
But, so we'll back up. I went to a Catholic elementary school. That was a lot of, like, trauma. And then I went to public middle school, public high school with Haley. We were band nerds. I don't regret any bit of it.
No, I don't either. Truly.
We still watch our marching band shows every once in a while.
You're not supposed to tell people that.
I'm sorry. What else is there?
Bunch of weirdos over here.
Hey.
I can't relate. I wasn't cool in high school, so.
I think
I actually wasn't cool.
I was gonna say, the biggest thing that band taught us was literally just, like, work ethic. Like, if there's anything worth doing in life, like, and you want to be proud of the outcome, like, it takes a lot of hard work.
If you're on time, you're late. If you're early, you're on time. And if you're late, it's unacceptable.
Yep.
That's one thing I took away. But anyways, sorry.
That's true as well.
God, it's kind of like conversion camp.
It's like electroshock therapy.
Everybody's kissing everybody.
No, literally, it's like an orgy.
No comment.
My high school's band was just like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't even in it, and I knew that.
That's exactly how it was, actually. Guilty.
It's a big cesspool. No, so that's my lore a little bit. But I worked at the Family Deli in high school. I really, like, started to become a degenerate in my later years of high school.
Oh my god,
Ben.
What?
You really did, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually.
like drinking and cigarettes, like,
Oh my
I was the
God.
one that would provide the alcohol majority of the time.
I feel like I didn't trust you for a really long time. Not
Oh my god, you guys.
There we go.
Not in the sense of, like...
And I can't relate because I'm perfect.
Right, literally.
Alrighty.
Not in the sense of, like, you were unreliable by any means. But just, like...
He was unreliable.
No, he did a lot of things behind closed doors that I would be
Yeah.
like, oh my god, like...
Right.
But also, I did have a stick up my ass in high school about genuinely everything. So that's probably part of the problem.
I didn't care. I put in the first episode in college, I was a 2.8 GPA college kid.
Yeah.
I was probably a 2.5 in high school. I mean,
Yeah.
especially later in high school. I tried to find those teachers and, like, play the game.
You did, yeah.
That's another life lesson for you. Play the fucking game.
Play the game, yeah. I agree.
Like, so yeah.
You gotta
and then-
know what game you're playing, though.
True.
You know what?
It's hard to figure out the game.
I think that's where, like, I started my bullshit tour of, like, I'm just faking it.
Yeah.
And
We all are. That's the secret.
That is the secret.
Everybody is faking it. Your CEO, faking it.
Yeah.
The President of the United States of America,
Faking it.
Nobody knows what they're doing.
No.
But then I was like, you know, I could probably be a good salesman, and, like, so I went to college, got my business management degree. I'm using all this info that y'all could, like, probably go and, like, scam my name with, but
Yeah.
And his social security number is.
Really enjoyed college. Sometimes a little too much.
Fuck yeah, we
Sometimes a
did.
little too.
Dear God, we had so much fun in college.
Shout out Bruco.
Yes.
Don't tell the story that I know that you all want to tell right now. Don't. We're not putting that on a recording.
No, we're not.
And if you know, you know, if you're listening to this.
If you don't, you never will.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We won't tolerate you that much.
Yeah. Holy shit. But Bruco, that was one of our top spots. You can go and get a fucking kitty
Our Capri
Sun
Sun.
for like $2.
I thought he meant kitty as in cat, and I was like, what is he talking about?
No, Ben don't swing that way.
Unless it's in Bruco.
They used to inject Capri Suns with moonshine and then sell them for like $2 a pop. So we would walk up to this bar and be
Can
like,
I have 7?
yeah, literally. And we would hand them out like they were candy.
Here, drink this. It tastes so good. You dance.
I would always have like 4 of them. Every pocket would have one in
Oh
it.
god, yeah. I used to go up behind you and take them out of your back pocket. Didn't even remember. You'd be like,
Oh my god.
oh my god, where did it go? I'd be like, I don't know.
I guess
We
I
also
drank it.
loved karaoke at what was it called?
Dublin's?
Is that what it was called? Yeah.
I
No.
never got to do that with you all.
No, it was Dublin's.
No, it wasn't Dublin's. It was
Wherever they served gator piss.
Dublin's was like the Irish bar
That's what I'm
that
talking
we would
about.
smoke
Karaoke.
cigarettes out back.
Oh no, you're right.
You're right. What's the one next to it?
Cliffs.
Cliffs. That's what it was.
No, I
No,
thought-
Cliff's was the bougie one. Dublin's was the ratchet
Yes.
one that did karaoke.
Dublin's was the one that.
Okay.
Cliff's in my hair was.
I never got to do karaoke in college.
Did we get up there?
I did it one time. It was so embarrassing because that one guy was there,
Oh.
and I had someone had signed me up before this person that I despise / also was obsessed with showed up to the bar, and they called my name, and whoever I was singing with, I can't remember, was like, "Come on, we have to get up there," and I
You
was
were
like,
like-
"Actually, I have to go," but
I
I
don't
still
remember
went.
that. That wasn't with me.
No, it wasn't with you. It was
I'm
probably
kind of
with
upset
Meredith.
I never did
I was
it.
gonna say.
Meredith probably will know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
There's some college lore.
What were we talking about?
And then I got into Nashville.
Yeah.
Y'all heard the stories of that. I ended up hating it at the end.
How do you think that changed your perspective on
Ooh,
adulthood?
really getting thought-provoking.
Nashville.
Yeah.
I loved living alone.
God, it's
The
the best,
independence.
isn't
Holy shit.
I hate it.
I could get up in the middle of the night and have finish half a jar of peanut butter and not feel guilty at all.
it? No judgment.
I just saw in my head the peanut butter baby going, oh. I just saw Ben sitting on his kitchen
his
table.
couch.
In bed with peanut rubbing peanut butter all over me.
But you could do that because who's gonna get you?
Who's gonna get you?
Exactly.
No one.
Exactly. Or firing up that air fryer with some chicken nuggets and
Oh,
tater
in the middle of
tots
the
at 3
night?
in the morning.
Yup.
Whew.
Sometimes you just need a little midnight snack.
Yeah, and nobody was there to judge me.
Yeah.
Nobody was there to care. Getting home, not having any responsibilities except to make sure I make it to work the next day.
Whatever. Yeah.
I do think it changed my perspective of just what I enjoy doing in life
Yeah.
and how much freedom and independence we truly could have.
Well, and I think it gave you, not to speak for you, tell me if I'm wrong, sorry.
You
No, but this
typically
is
speak
good
for me,
because
so.
it's your
I think it
perspective. Of
gave,
Ben.
right. It gave you, not that you were lonely in Nashville, but I think it gave you your sense of solitude.
You really found your independence
Yes.
as an adult.
Well, and I had different friend groups too.
You definitely did, which I was very proud of you. I could never do that.
Which
Haley and I still haven't done that.
No, are you kidding?
I still found them all through work, but
But
we
yes.
got to drink and play games and whatnot outside of work.
Yes, and I don't have that
I wish I did.
other than you guys.
Yeah.
But I think also keeping long distance friendships, it also helped my perspective on that of
The effort that it takes.
well, the effort it takes and just you do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, prioritizing different things.
That's, yeah.
So I made it my mission to talk to you all at least once a week.
Yeah.
And sometimes it wouldn't be that often. We talk every couple weeks, but
I kind of have a good idea. I want to cut you off.
okay.
That's not the idea.
Okay.
What if I thought this would be fun. We go around and say a topic and then each of us gives like a one sentence or like an elevator pitch of our perspective of that.
Oh, okay.
Like, for example, Ben can say friendship. And
Okay.
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Let's do it. I gave them enough lore. I'm currently in the middle of my chaotic mess life, so we'll get updates as we go on about that.
Yeah.
But let's do that, like the friendship.
Okay, friendship. Me first?
Yeah.
Okay. My perspective on friendships is there can be too many. You can have too many friendships.
I was literally...
I genuinely think we are all so damn busy that we have no business having, like, these
45
people that it
friends.
looks like they have 149 million friends. No, the fuck you don't.
No.
You don't even know any of their middle names. Like, you don't know these people. You're doing it all for appearance or to look like you're this type of... You're literally doing it so you can make yourself look like something you're not. And it's ridiculous. You only need... I'm not going to give a number because I don't think there's a number, but you really don't need that many friends. You just need to have really strong friendships. That's
Agreed.
my perspective.
As Taylor Swift said, a friend to all is a friend to none.
Facts.
And also, that's literally what I was going to say about friendship was 4 quarters is worth more than 100 pennies. Any freaking day of the week.
That's
Aren't they
actually...
the same currency?
They are,
They
but...
both equal a
like-
dollar.
No, yes, exactly. But, like, if you have 4 really good friends versus, like, 100 acquaintances.
There
Like-
you go, yeah.
Well, because it's like 1 quarter, 1 penny. Like, you may only have
The weight
4...
of it.
You may only have 4 quarters.
Yeah.
But
Weighed
you have
individually.
100 penny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree.
That's a good one.
Because there's just, like... I'm sorry, but the life that I want to live is, like... just full of depth with my relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Complexity.
I think friendship... There's a lot to unpack there, but I agree with your all's point. I also think friendship, I think we've all said this at least once at this point, but are the family we choose.
100%.
Those 4 quarters we get to choose. We get to...
Yeah.
We get to put our time and effort towards
Yes.
a friendship. Whereas it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel
No.
like, oh, like I'm neglecting this. Like, friendship should be fluid.
I would agree.
I definitely agree.
And when I say fluid, I don't mean people walking in and out of your life. Because in my opinion, those are acquaintances.
Oh,
I can almost actually disagree with that, though.
Really?
What do you mean?
I almost think it's okay for people to walk in and out, or just in, or just out.
Oh,
in their
agreed.
life.
Agreed. Maybe I didn't word it right then.
Well, I just think like in and out as in I might be meaning something different than you're meaning. So I'll let you finish your thought, and then I'll let you know if it's different.
I was a different person in high school than I am today.
Right.
And a lot of people in and out of my life, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because maybe, like, in high school,
Okay, I do agree with you.
Okay.
Sorry, I
You're
think
good.
that I was misunderstanding.
Oh, yeah.
like, and that's why I was afraid to go back to Louisville, too, is I was afraid of the trauma and, like, the messes that I created myself
Fair.
and shit, and I'm like, I'm a different person now.
You are.
Definitely.
We all evolve.
Well, and if other people want to hold that against you, then that's on them.
Yeah.
You can't alter their perspective or what they experience.
This episode's called Perspectives.
I know, that's, yeah.
I think what's really scary too when it comes to friendships is you think obviously as we get older we grow and we change, and it's really scary because a lot of the times that means you're changing and you're growing apart,
Yeah.
or you're changing and you're no longer a good match.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really, people think it's really scary to acknowledge that and say we're not at a good spot right, like
Yeah.
we're not matching up right now. And so I'm letting you go.
Yeah.
And there's no negative energy there.
No.
It's just
We're two
we're
different
just
places
we're
in our
different
life.
right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And accepting that and being fine with that
Mm-hmm.
rather than trying to hold on to it. Because when you let go of that, something else is going to come back.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's very true.
I feel like that was so fun, that episode.
That was so fun.
It's definitely better to record all together.
I would agree. And I also think the one mic thing actually worked in our favor because of how conversational we are.
I think so too. Because I think when I have my mic, I'm really hyper-fixated on my voice.
I would agree. I would second that.
Like an overstimulation.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're so happy and grateful that you listened this
Yeah.
far into this episode. And I think our current schedule is going to be bi-weekly if we can stick to that, but no promises. We want this to be super low pressure.
Yeah.
What does bi-weekly mean? Can we get a definition?
Like
other
every other
week.
Thursday.
Okay, so bi-monthly.
Oh, yes. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Bi-weekly means twice a week.
Okay,
You're
yeah,
correct.
fair.
Okay. Just
Thanks
wanted
for
to-
correcting that then. Every other Thursday
It's like,
or
what am I committing to?
maybe like every other Monday. Oh, Monday would be good because everybody needs to pick me up on Mondays.
That's a good idea.
So maybe we'll do every other Monday. But yeah, we're so happy.
It's all still a work in progress.
It is a work in progress.
We're figuring it out as we go.
But that's fun.
It is fun.
Part of it.
We're the type of people we want to jump in head first.
Yeah, we want to immerse ourselves fully.
Do we? Anyways.
Yes. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you have anything that you want to specifically hear us tolerate.
Yap about. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And make sure you send this to someone that you tolerate. So
Love you
they can know how much
guys.
you tolerate them.
Bye,
Love you
y'all.
guys so
Love you.
much.
Bye.